Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 1st to the 7th of July 2024. We have a very watery week this week as we begin with Neptune turning retrograde. So Neptune is at the last 5 seconds of the sign of Pisces, which is the last sign of the zodiac, but ready to make a retrograde through to December before turning direct, crossing over the equinox point and entering into a whole new 168-year cycle next March as it moves into Aries. So it's our last reckoning really, our last reflection, our last chance to go deep within, rinse out ourselves, create some much needed space as we're cleaning our vessel now to be able to flow on a much lighter, much more spacious vibration. So we're looking back over the past 168 years really, what we've picked up collectively on a spiritual level. But the sign of Pisces can be a bit like a sponge and get oversaturated by holding on to emotional memories where the situation was meant to serve as a lesson, not a life sentence. So we need to wring out that sponge really and decide with the clarity of Virgo, Pisces' opposite sign, the discernment, what's worth carrying forwards and what we really need to let go of that we've been hanging on to for too long. So that's more on the personal emotional level or the collective consciousness level, letting the baggage and the density fall away, drifting off into this retrograde where I feel there'll also be a lot of potential past life memories and a lot of powerful dreams which may hold secrets and unlock mysteries if we give them our focused attention. So that's Neptune turning retrograde in Pisces until next December. If we balance ourselves by calling in the Virgo opposite, then we can observe our consciousness, our vibration, our dream states, what we're holding on to, what serves us and what doesn't, and have a final cleanse before the new dawn of Mercury in Aries commences next year. Pisces is a water sign, and we currently have the Sun, Venus and Mercury in Cancer as well, another water sign. So the solar month of Cancer does tend to be quite an emotive one. It's ruled by the law of polarity, so you'll see lots of polarities coming up, whether that's left and right, seeing as it's quite a political month for us here in the UK, or whether it's a showdown between masculine and feminine, this side or that side basically. And it's a time when Cancerians can be very emotional and seek security and be a little bit hard on the outside as a result. So you might see people doubling down on which side they believe in and fighting for what they feel is right. And yet we are in an age where we need to let go of some of our conditioned thinking and look with a more objective mind. But it can be a month of civil unrest and external volatility, which is an outside reflection of some of the turmoil that can be going on inside the Cancerian energy. And yet, talking of opposites, Capricorn is the opposite, which is your inner stability and inner strength and authority. So why are we giving away our authority to external forces to keep us secure? Can we call in the opposite and get a backbone and actually stand up for ourselves? And we do have a new moon in Cancer coming up this week, but before we get to that, we have Mercury moving into Leo. So Mercury is moving out of a water sign into a fire sign, but immediately making an opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. So we have another opposite pair here, Leo and Aquarius. And Pluto in Aquarius is the biggest deal in the charts this year, starting a new 268 cycle and bringing in some of those much needed Aquarian energies. So with Mercury being opposite in the sign of the heart, Mercury being our thoughts, then we can take our thoughts heart-centered, what's really important, what's really sovereign, what really matters, which would be a good way to get out of some of that paradigm conditioned thinking that we've been trapped in for so long as we start to wake up and remember. So quite an exciting opposition there. Mercury opposite Pluto, and the 2nd and 3rd this week. Tune into your heart brain, hear the wisdom of the heart, hear the ancient calling, Pluto in Aquarius. We already know what's right, we already know what needs to be broken down and rebuilt in a different way. So if we can tune out of some of the external rhetoric, ideology, and being told what we should think and feel, then this is a very powerful week to actually find our own true minds and stand in our own courage. So we come to the new moon in Cancer. That's 14 degrees on the 5th, but at 11:59 p.m, so almost midnight between the 5th and the 6th of July. So you'll be looking at where 14 degrees Cancer is for you, because the new moon is once a year in each sign, and it'll be probably once a year in each of your houses of your chart. So when we look at making a personal lunar calendar, In my course, I show you how you can set new intentions all the way around your chart, doing the right thing at the right time, reaping and sowing the right season. So this is coming obviously after the 4th of July, which for America is Independence Day, and America is a very Cancerian-ruled country. And in the UK, coming a day after our national elections. So we can see the law of polarity in play. We can see themes of security, wanting to feel safe and nurtured. But as I said earlier, we're now in times where you've got to stand on and for what you truly know to be right and let go of the external scaffolding a little bit, or the consensus think. So we've got Sun and Moon, 14 degrees Cancer. That means that they line up with the star Sirius. That's the whole point of July the 4th, is when the Sun lines up to the star Sirius, which is a big deal in all ancient stone monuments and certain architectural buildings and layouts in cities as well. You'll see July the 4th as a very, very important astrological and geomantic date. So super powerful new moon, midnight, lining up with Sirius on some very powerful days for both the UK and the USA. Emotions will be running high. There'll be very clear opposites at play. All the more reason to know your centre, so you don't have to get caught up in the storm. So if you would like to see where this is happening for you, or engage in creating your own personal lunar calendar, then I am available, zoehines7@gmail.com. Sessions are 1 hour recorded MP3 and including tarot. Sessions are very customised towards you, so this can be about relationships or direction, or exploring past lives or spiritual paths and purpose, or some of each. And I also teach astrology, tarot, numerology and more. I offer coaching sessions to really dig deep, pull things up at the roots, help create the necessary space so that we can all flow as clean and pure vessels. And I post these videos on my YouTube, Zoe Astro, Instagram, zoehines7, and Facebook, AstroZoe. So a changeable, quite nebulous, quite emotional week. Find your centre, find your heart, find your backbone. Try not to get too involved in the outside, but tune into what you've always known is right. And maybe set the intention under this Cancerian new moon to let go of all past baggage, so that you can feel light and spacious inside, and your vibration can reach further and make a bigger contribution in this amazing world. So those are the horoscopes this week, and I'll see you next week.